Breaking news, everyone, and you'll want to stick with me until the very end of this report. There's a new wave of speculation sweeping across the global currency community, and it has people talking non-stop. The big question tonight is simple but electrifying. Could tomorrow finally be the day the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong erupt in value? This isn't just a minor whisper. This is a conversation that has gained massive traction in the past 24 hours. Holders, investors, and entire online groups are buzzing, watching their phones, and staying up late, waiting for any sign of confirmation. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and the numbers you've been tracking for years suddenly change. Possibility has gripped thousands of people around the world. And tonight we dig into why. Let's start with what has people so excited. This isn't about an official government announcement or a confirmed central bank decree, at least not yet. Instead, it's about the timing, the rumors, and the background movements that seem to be lining up in a way that feels different. This time, for years, people in the dinar and dong community have speculated about when or if a revaluation would ever happen. Countless dates have been thrown around, and many of them have come and gone without change. But right now, in 2025, the chatter feels heavier. The whispers are louder. And more importantly, the signals being picked up behind closed doors are carrying a sense of urgency that we haven't seen in a long while. The idea making headlines. Tonight is not just that the Iraqi dinar could rise on its own, or that the Vietnamese dong could follow later. Instead, this speculation focuses on both currencies erupting together. It's a coordinated move, possibly as part of a much bigger global financial shift. Think about that for a moment. For years, the talk has been one currency goes first, then the other follows. But if the two were to move at the exact same time, the shockwaves could be enormous, sending ripples through international trade, banking, and global investment strategies. That's why this moment has captured so much attention, because the potential scale of it is unlike anything we've seen before in this space. So, what would this eruption actually look like if it really did happen tomorrow? Many in the community believe it wouldn't be some wild, chaotic explosion. Instead, it would likely be a controlled adjustment, carefully managed to avoid panic. Banks could quietly update their screens, showing new rates before anyone officially announces it. Currency exchange centers might shift their numbers overnight, and suddenly screenshots would begin appearing online. Social media would explode with people posting what they're seeing, and while the rest of the world goes about its morning routine, those who have been waiting patiently could realize that the value of their holdings has changed in a way they've only imagined in their dreams. For holders of the Iraqi dinar, this could mean the currency finally takes its place on stronger international footing. Iraq's economy, fueled by high oil revenues, expanding trade deals, and ongoing financial reforms, has been laying groundwork for years. At some point, many believe Iraq simply cannot delay these moves much longer. The timing appears right, and the foundation seems stronger than it has been in a decade. For Vietnam, dong could see an adjustment that reflects its improving economy, its growing foreign investment, and rising regional influence. Taken together, the idea of both nations shifting their currency values at the same time would be monumental, not just for individual holders, but for the balance of financial power in Asia and the Middle East. Of course, excitement always brings up the question, what should holders do if this does happen? The strategies are as varied as the people involved. Some say they would exchange immediately, cashing in part of their holdings to lock in gains before any potential pullback. Others argue patience is the better play, especially if rates are expected to continue climbing over days or weeks. The decision may not be simple, especially if both currencies rise together, but at different speeds. A cautious strategy might be to exchange only a portion, while holding the rest to see what happens. But no matter the plan, everyone agrees the key is preparation, knowing exactly what you would do if tomorrow brings the eruption. But let's also talk about the emotional side of this story, because for many, This isn't just about money, it's about years of hope. People have held on to these currencies for more than a decade in some cases, fueled by the belief that one day it would all pay off. The patience, the research, the conversations laid into the night it has built. Not only financial investment, but also personal commitment. If tomorrow really were to bring the kind of eruption being discussed, the emotional impact could be overwhelming. The sudden shift from years of waiting to the reality of life-changing numbers would be a moment unlike any other. It wouldn't just be financial news, it would be history, at least for those who believed. And there's another layer. If this eruption were to take place, it could trigger a chain reaction beyond just individual wealth. For Iraq, a stronger currency could rapidly expand international trade, attract more foreign investment, and stabilize the nation's financial position. That in turn could increase demand for the dinar, potentially driving its value even higher. Over time, for Vietnam, a revalued dong could boost consumer purchasing power, strengthen its position in regional markets, and make the country more attractive to global investors. Together, these moves could send a powerful signal worldwide, a signal that coordinated monetary reform is happening, possibly tied to larger changes in how global finance operates. But let's pause for a reality check. In this community, the phrase tomorrow doesn't always mean literally tomorrow. Often it's shorthand for soon or imminent. Many times, bold predictions have passed with no fireworks. Dates have come and gone. And those who are new to this journey quickly learn that anticipation and delay are part of the process. That doesn't mean change won't happen, but it does mean no one outside the very top decision makers truly knows the exact timing. What makes this moment unique is the intensity of the current speculation and the sense that pieces on the global chessboard may finally be lining up in a meaningful way. Recent developments have added to the suspense. Some believe there are even automatic triggers or algorithms in place, systems designed to release the change once certain conditions are met. We've heard phrases like, "nothing can stop it." And while no one can guarantee the exact truth, the idea is that the process is already moving forward, and delays are more about fine-tuning than stopping. That's why the community remains hopeful, even when official timelines are unclear. People are holding on not because of blind faith, but because the groundwork behind the scenes appears stronger than ever before. The truth, however, is that some recent adjustments have caused slight slowdowns, political negotiations, technical details, or even the need to stabilize surrounding markets might have pushed back certain steps. And when you're waiting for something this big, even small delays can feel enormous. But it's important to understand delays do not mean failure. In fact, many analysts believe that careful preparation is a positive sign, that it shows leaders are working to ensure this transition is smooth and lasting, rather than chaotic and unstable. After all, when entire nations' currencies are involved, precision matters more than speed. So where does that leave us as of today, 2025? The best answer is this: the work is still happening. The planning hasn't stopped. The teams behind the scenes are still moving this process forward step by step. There may not be a set-in-stone timeline available to the public, but the momentum has not vanished. That's why so many people are glued to the latest whispers and waiting for confirmation. It may not be wise to mark down a specific date on your calendar, but it would also be unwise to dismiss the possibility that change is closer than we realize. Preparation remains the smartest approach. For some, that means having documents organized and a clear plan for where to exchange. For others, it means checking with banks, understanding potential tax implications, and creating a strategy that balances quick action with patience. And for many, it's about mental preparation, staying calm enough to make clear-headed decisions if and when the adrenaline rush of an eruption finally hits. Because when that moment comes, those who are ready will be in the best position to benefit. So as the clock ticks tonight and speculation builds for tomorrow, the community waits. Will it be just another day of rumors and excitement without fireworks? Or will it finally be the turning point, the day the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong erupt in value together, changing everything for the people who held on through years of uncertainty? Nobody can say for sure. But one thing is certain: the energy is real, the anticipation is powerful, and the sense of what if is stronger than ever. Whether tomorrow is the day or not, this story is far from over, and the next chapter could begin at any moment. Stay tuned, because when it happens, it will be history in the making.